To do this, you would go to the particle that you want to attach to your character and attach that to your character, attach that to the skin, and then no. And doing that will attach that to the skin, but only one for now. And we can attach that to unresolved poi poi BP char. And as you'll see, doing that, we'll put that attack on his hand now. So that's just the first particle, but you would do that on a second one as well if your attack has two particles. But the attach you want to unresolve, go to your sequence, which not this sequence, but the actual sequence itself, and then find your BP and then add it. So now with your newly created scenery, you'll have an attack. And as you see, sometimes you'll have to recreate and edit, go into it and just figure out what you have to do. So I see that it loads up and it goes out. So I kind of wanted to go all the way to the end. So I'll just drag it all the way out. And that's how you'll fix anything that you need fixed. But that one went out as well. So going to go into the first particle and apply it the same way that I did for the second one. If you drag it over too much, then it will go out of scene and it will not be seen. So remember that. Let's remember that. And now, if you see some extra particles will still be on the ground, you'll just have to go to them, click on them, find out what it is. And this would be the lighting for it. So just if it doesn't have an attachment part where you can attach it, which it does, they have a chloride attached, but you can still attach it to your character as well. Let's see. And to do so, I would like to add an actor to the scene. Boom. And attach a mesh, which attach it to my BP char. Skin, and I will say no. This is just so I can get perfect alignment for the light, and that will follow my, actually, it won't right now, but you'll just have to drag that into your scene so it follows your character, and your actor will follow your character. And then you can click on a light and attach it to the actor, just so you don't have any extra problems over there. And edit that light. There are multiple lights, but for each his own, you'll have to just do it. Resolved. Oops. This was in an actor, and anything else that needs to be edit. Mm-hmm. Now, in this particle is something that kind of curious. What is this popping in it? But I already have two particles and I don't know what this one is. So I'm just going to take this out of the scene, and taking it out, you would have to get rid of this one as well. I don't know what it is, but because I don't know what it is, charge max, right? Left. So I don't see a left. Kind of tricky, but since that is tricky to me, I'm just gonna, since I'm not messing with it, I'm just gonna get rid of it and then get rid of that as well. Just because don't know what it is. It's not a part of my scene that I want, and that's not what I want. So I'll just get rid of it and just keep my scene just the way it is. All right. So with all that done, I usually scroll to the bottom and start editing. Um, do I honestly know what I'm doing at this part? No, but I I just get it in a way. So just follow along with me, and you'll have it too. So keep it within your timeline frame, and just make new sections and add a new keyframe from beginning to end, except for your particles. Like the particles you keep as particles, and I believe you are just editing the location of where it's at, and anything that's already pre-existing, just get rid of it. One thing you can do is click on the beginning and recreate the transform. We click back here. So you really don't have to uh really worry about uh doing too much, because you could just click back and forth, and you're just recreating the scene of what's going on in your attack. Okay. Oops. I'm gonna just give it, gonna say just because I'm just gonna leave it on the actor. Just because I have no idea why, but just put it on the actor. And I usually click on both because I have no idea what is doing what. But just to be safe, I'm just gonna do it. And as I told you, I personally don't know when it comes down to this part because A, it's modding. So it's basically finding out ways to work around it and how to make things work in game. And this is about the best way that I was given um, through many different guides and tutorials off of written guides that I make video guides for you. So I hope this comes very helpful for you guys as well. And click on the end. And we should be about finished with recreating our scene, just because I like to be safe. Have no idea what none of this does, so I'm just going to recreate it to fit my scene. And same thing applies here. That could be about right. So, with that being done, first things first that I do is save. And something else that's very important. So another thing that's important uh when it comes down to recreating your scene is sometimes you'll have uh parts that come down to uh it'll say rebind character 9 times out of 10, or it'll say unbonded origin. So if you're recreating a scene, um an actor will follow your character, and sometimes it will be applied to like where the attack is. If it's not, then go to the attack particle itself, which, or you could just click on the attack particle, and to like doing so, if it's not attached to your character, just attach it to your character, and inside of the transform recreate it. And if it's not showing up, then just make sure you have your character dragged out. Sorry about that. But doing so will have it accurately attached to your character, and with everything re-edited, and you have everything lined up to where it looks like it's right. It just gotta feel right, honestly. uh what I'm gonna do is click on this and gonna go here, and rebind character. Gonna rebind this as well. Just everything that you see me rebonding, is mainly the brown sections rebonded to your character, so it's rebonded uh here as well. Make sure I click on that. Uh, boom, rebonded, 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 and you just want to make sure everything that's bonded to something you rebond it to your character. Rebonding it just is self-explanatory, all in the same sentence. Rebonding the character is rebonding that attachment to let the game read it, because without it on rebind character, the game will not read what changes you have made. So it'll just be stuck like that. All right. So with that being said and done, save that as your MS. Boom. And we can really get up out of the MS. Leave out of there. Now, though you did change your attack, which let's just get this down. You did change your attack. All right. Your attack does look different, but it's not completely done yet. And reason being is because um when it comes out, that is the part where the bullet visual comes into effect, and that is within the common assets. If you scroll down to the bullet visual, where is it? Bullet visual data, bullet visual and settings, but in this instance we won't really need the settings because the bullet visual is something that we want to change. All right, so I should have probably kept him open, but just because I didn't, I have to go back into it again, go back into his assets, and get back into my content browser, go search into characters data, and this is just a way of me grabbing a particle of something that I want. So ULT is the ultimate SPM. One would be for one, and two would be for two. But his move is coming from his ultimate. I know for a fact that that is the kind of effect that I would want to take for my attack. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna grab that particle again and make sure that that's the same particle, which is not. But if it's not, then that's where you would make sure it is. And oh yeah, that still is data. But blast ultimate, no. Bullet visual data. So again, you would want to, I would probably have to do that again just because. But bullet visual data, character data. Um I could just say bullet visual data. Open it up. You can open it up if you would like, but make sure you apply it first at the bullet visual data, so you are not editing from default bullet visual data. All right, save it. Just save it where you would like to save it. And going into the bullet visual data, I might have to go back into the Vegeta stuff again, but sometimes once you get a hang of it, you won't have to run back and forth with it. You'll just be able to jump from one thing to another. So, but I'm a little unorganized here. Wasn't really expecting to do too much, but taking it a little further than beyond. So let's do Alt SD again so I could grab the particle effect because I closed it out. Now it's still in my scenery though, so I could have grabbed it from there. But leave, I don't, I'm just going to keep it. I'm going to close all this because you guys won't understand what none of that is. Not yet. All right, so you'll see it inside of the bullet visual data. You'll see a couple of different elements. Uh, so scrolling down the list, you'll start to see all different types of stuff. This would I'm just gonna break it down to you simply. Don't really understand what one, two, and three really pertains to, but it does have effects to them and muzzle. Pretty sure there's like maybe when you're fighting and you hold triangle. I have no idea because I never experimented with them. I just mainly look for what I was mainly looking for. And if you would like to break it down and test out what each and everything does, so we can really fully understand each and everything of PDA modding, then leave down in the comments what you discover. But here is EXA1 and here is EXA2. These are just, I don't know why those are different keys, but as you see, this is special move 1. You would not know that, but scrolling down, I don't know what that is, but uh and then looking for keys that look like these are the special moves. And remember, these are EXAs. So I look at this like the China house for the first letter. That's what I look at it as. And then I look at this like a sword or some type. And the swords is the special moves, and the China house is the EXAs. Just a quick way for me to remember. Um, and here we are changing special move 1. So this would be the blast visual for special move 1 of Android 17, but I am recreating this to something that I would like. So I'm going to drag that bullet visual montage sequence over into the scenery and find out the bullet visual data, copy that, and paste that where that is. And I would say MS and go into back into the bullet visual, place that, and you can go into it. Um, honestly, here you really don't have to do too much. Uh, this is just the outcome of the attack. So though you change the uh LSG of the montage sequence of the special move 1, the attack will still come out looking like this because this is the bullet visual data. So to change that effect, you would click on the effect itself. Make sure you have the effect that you want to change, which for about the last time, have to go back and grab it again. But as you see, this is just the reason why you would want to probably keep that open and keep your data there. But it's not too much of a hassle. It's just would I like to do it? No, but this is something that it calls for. So Alt SD is the before attack, so it's the charge up, and I really don't have to. Uh, yeah, so I don't have to um, really run back and forth with it and just go back. So I'm not gonna exit out of it finally. Don't know why I didn't do it the first time, but it's alright. So you go into your animation, your bullet visual animation, montage sequence, and scroll through. This is the bullet visual for it, but sometimes it won't show because it's a little busy doing what it's doing. But so we have that particle. Do I have it? No, I don't again. Wow. It's alright. Because just grab it, find it, go to the bullet visual, and you apply it. Which, as you see now, I'm at the particle. That wasn't even the right one anyway, but I know that this is the particle that I want used, and you could double click onto it to figure out what particle it is, but I already know that it's the particle that I want to use, so there we go, and that would change everything about that. Now, instead of just doing that, I would probably want to create a new LSG for the bullet visual just because it's some things that I want to do uh with that. So, and there's it's just a couple extra things that you'll understand in a minute. Before you destroy your actual default character data, I'm just helping you guys out on how to not do that and how to uh keep everything functional and up and running properly. So just save that LSG, point LSG. We'll have to go back into the bullet visual and LSG. It's crazy. I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna copy that just because I don't feel like going back into it. But bullet visual LSG, yeah. And then you right click properties and put the LSG in. So now we can edit it the way that I would like to edit it and add that particle now since I copied it. I don't have to worry about doing that all over again. The reason why I remade a copy, you see the wind particles and everything. Um, if I hadn't have made a copy and just edited that off of what I would just wanted to do, I would just be basically messing up default character data, and that's the reason why you always make a copy of everything, and I can delete it, and this would just be the bullet visual of the attack of it coming out. So we have now the load up and a nice appropriate bullet visual so it can equal up to the load up of the LSG from the actual special move one. I know it's a lot to take in, but later on, once you start modding and once you have experience in it, you'll understand what I mean and you'll actually be like, he was very 100% accurate. So that is really much how you change really the attack load up and uh how you change the outcome of how the attack comes out. Let me actually get back into that because I just want to make sure it's saved. If it's not saved, boy, bullet visual. See, I didn't save it. So I didn't like the fact that I didn't save it, so I have to save it. Edit it again. And now, without anything else, I can now click on the toolbar, save as, and look for where it would be LSG, character data at LSG, bullet visual LSG. Make sure you're clicking on the right LSG. And this is the reason why I saved everything in the main folder. Uh, you don't have to worry about rebinding the target or nothing. Just the MS, doom and doom. And now when I go back into the MS, it will appropriately load up everything. And that's how you know your bullet visual has been applied correctly. So in doing so, uh, you actually change the load up of the cutscene for how your attack starts up in the MLS for your special move one because as I said in the first video, the MLS controls everything about your attacks and how your move plays out. Combination data corresponds with the MLS, and sometimes you'll have to mess with combination, bullet visual, and bullet settings. So, in different instances, we'll probably have to get around to that, but without further ado, uh, you could go ahead and cook your mind and we can test it out. All right. So, took some time uh, to actually get here, but we still have Android 17's voice. But if we do our attack now I have two new effects. So us playing with the bullet visual data and playing with the MLS at the same time corresponds with each other. And with us doing it this specific way, um, the bullet visual data really controls the bullet for the beam and the MLS really gives the scene to the attack. if there's a scene, if you want to have a scene. If you don't, then you could just take out the scene and just really edit the bullet visual, and it'll come out just the way that you want it to. But that's just a little workaround that of how I do it. But I think we could end it right here because that was just the start of something. But tomorrow, I think we will change the beam color of an attack. We already seen how to change a particle. Um, and changing a particle is really, it can be simple, but sometimes it can be a little complicated because then you'll have a character where if you go into the MLS and they special move one, and then you'll go into the LSG, you'll see that it might have 40 different arrays that you'll just have to edit. So some characters come a little easier than others, but with time and practice, you'll eventually get it and it'll become easier and easier. But until tomorrow, uh, I'll see you guys later.